Alright, I'm gonna be doing a redo of this because the audio was horrible and the main part of the story was cut out the last one, so... Alright then. This is gonna be what if Deku had 3 quirks. His first quirk is gonna be teleportation. It ain't gonna be like Kirigiri's, it's pretty much gonna be like he can teleport anywhere within his line of sight, and he can teleport anything in his line of sight. Say you're holding a pencil, he can teleport that pencil into his hand. Next will be time stop. He can stop time pretty much like Dio. He can stop time, but he can move freely in it. Next will be illusions. He can pretty much create sound and physical illusions. Well, not like they can touch you, like you can see them and also hear them. Yeah, those are going to be his 3 quirks. Alright, I'm going to start it off now. So, Deku's born, nothing really special. He's pretty much living his life up until he's 4. This is the day that Bucko activates his quirk. He's showing it off, bang, bang, look how cool my quirk is, yeah. Then eventually, he's going over to Izuku and saying, hey Izuku, look how cool my quirk is, He holds out his hand and kind of points out Izuku. He's trying to make a big explosion to impress him, but he ends up making one a little bit too big. It's about to hit Izuku, and he's kind of like looking at the other side of the classroom, like oh, I gotta get away. He closes his eyes to brace for the impact. He ends up teleporting. Everyone's like, whoa, Deku just teleported. Everyone's like kind of looking at him now, like, wow, your quirk's so cool. And then, eventually he just goes back to Bakugo. At the end of the day, his mom's like, okay, did you have a good day? He's like, yes, Mom, I got my quirk. Like, really? What is it? I think I can teleport. Like, oh, wow, that's quite a cool quirk. Yeah. Nice. Okay, how about we go to the quirk doctor and get some ice cream afterwards? Like, okay. And he goes to the quirk doctor and gets his quirk evaluated, because I ain't going to describe how. Because I didn't even know. Doctor ends up coming back out like, okay, ma'am, this is quite interesting. What's wrong? He says, well, your son's quirk isn't just teleportation. Your son has 3 quirks, actually. But teleportation seems to be the most prominent one. Like, what are the other ones? He says, well, teleportation, he can pretty much teleport anywhere in his line of sight, as well as anything he is as well. His second quirk is time stop. It can pretty much stop time, but not for very long at this point. Pretty much for half a second. And his final quirk is illusions. He can pretty much create sound and physical illusions. But right now, he can pretty much only create what looks like to be maybe a small rock on a path. And it's like, oh well, okay, well, will they be able to get stronger? Yes, they can get stronger, but they'll need a lot of time put into them. Get the joke of time. Anyway, it's like, oh, okay, that's very good. Okay, Zuko, let's go for ice cream. It's like, hey, Mom, do you think I can be a hero? He said, yes, you can be a very good hero with these quirks. Yay! But yeah. So they go for ice cream, Next day, he comes back to school, Baku's like, huh, what's your quirk, Zuko? Mine's explosions. He says, well, actually, I have 3, but 2 aren't really that strong. Compared to my main one. He says, what's your main one? He says, teleportation. He's like, what's the other ones then? My second quirk is time stop, but I can only do it for half a second, really. And my third one is illusions, where I can create pretty much only small illusions, though. Buck's like, huh? So you don't even have 2 strong quirks, huh? That means you're useless. You're a Deku. And Izuku's like, what do you mean? Like, you're useless, you can't even use your quirks properly. You can't even become a good hero. Like, but Deku, Kachan, what are you saying? You're just useless. He explodes Deku. he pretty much becomes the bully. 2-year time skip. Pretty much, Deku's been bullied for like these 2 years by Bakugo, but because he can teleport, he has gotten away most of the times. But pretty much, he's been held down by the goons and stuff. But this day, pretty much he's playing outside. Bakugo comes up there. Hey Deku, time for your daily beating. Like, no, Kachon, please don't. Bakugo's like, you don't have a choice. No. He ends up exploding Deku a few times, punching him. Eventually he does an explosion too big and too close. It hits Deku right in the head. This pretty much would have killed him. But he teleported away at the same time as it hit him. Technically killing him as well. Pretty much what they can see is it looks like Deku's glitching out. He's randomly teleporting to different locations help me. And this goes on for at least another minute. And it eventually stops. Buck's scared, Deku, come back out. Just get away from me, get away. And they start running away. And eventually, teacher's hey, has anyone seen Izuku today? He, hasn't come back to class. It was, silent, they didn't know. But, pretty much where Deku is right now, he is stuck between Earth and Hell. Pretty much in a void, black void. He can move around, but not really. There's really no end to it. It's not even a loop. It just keeps going on forever. But yeah. Now after a few weeks, Deku is reported missing because he hasn't come home or gone to school. Bakugo is scared what might happen to him if someone finds out though. So he doesn't tell his mom, his dad, Inko or anything. I'm gonna do a year later, Bakugo's kind of realized that his quirk is dangerous. He needs to control it more. He can't just expect to be number one without any training. So he starts training his quirk and being more cautious with it. Eventually by the time he gets into UA, he'll have the AP shot. But if Inko has gotten really sad, pretty depressed. Her husband's dead because I'm going to say he died. She just lied to Izuku. And her son is dead. She really has nothing to live for. And I'm not going to say how, but she is now dead. So, eventually, pretty much what Izuku was doing for the past year, he's pretty much tried to create illusions of people to try and keep himself sane. So he can have human conversations. He's tried to stop times, try and figure things out. And he's gotten pretty good with his quirks and stuff. And right now he can stop time for about 2 seconds and create about a fully human figure out of his illusions. It's pretty much always of his mom or his aunt Mitsuki. When Mitsuki hears about Inko's death, she's she tells her family Inko has passed away. I just need some time because she's sad. Her best friend is dead. Baku's wait, Aunt Inko's dead? Is this because Izuku's gone? Oh god. I really need to control my quirk. Whoops. So he pretty much he is extra cautious now. He is training his quirk so hard. He can create non-lethal explosions that will pretty much hurt a lot. Yeah. But yeah. So now I'm gonna do a 17-year time skip. So now we're looking at Bakugo. Bakugo is in the classroom, the teacher comes in. Okay everyone, we're gonna be needing you to fill out these forms. It'll be to see what you want to be in the future. And it's oh, just kidding, I all know you want to be heroes. He throws up the papers, everyone's celebrating. Teacher says like, oh, look at that, we have one person going to UA. Everyone's like, what, who is it? He says, oh, Bakugokotsky. And everyone's like, oh yeah, he can probably go to UA, his quirk's quite strong. Because, he stopped the bullying entirely, pretty much. But he doesn't help anyone that's being bullied. But yeah. And Izuku, he is pretty much still in the void. He pretty much creates illusions. He pretty much has an illusion activated all the time, where it's of a city that he lived in. But he's pretty much gone insane completely. Not really completely, but he's pretty much lost most of his sanity. It's beyond repair, I guess. But yeah, so his time stop has gotten really strong, because he's tried to figure out ways, like try and stop times and stuff. So now he can pretty much stop it for, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes now. Not like the time stop with Dio and Jotaro, like 1 second is 10 seconds now. It's just actually real time stop. But, his illusions are really strong now, and his teleportation is pretty much the same, because it was already really strong. But yeah. So go back to Bakugo. He's pretty much done the 10 months of training. I'm gonna say, like, he was the one who got trapped in the sludge villain, but All Might gives him the quirk. But yeah. So, he does the 10 months of training, he does the UA entrance exam. I don't know, he gets first place or something. In the physical, not really the mental one, I guess. That's what you would call it. But yeah, so first day, as I was like, okay everyone, we're going to be doing a quirks evaluation test. Everyone's like, but what about orientation? He says, I have free reign over what this class does, therefore I can choose what we do. So we're going to be doing a quick evaluation test. Put these on, otherwise I'm going to expel your ass. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, okay, yep, okay, cool. But yeah. Eventually, they do the test. Bakugo's explosions are big as hell, He pretty much ends up getting like 1,000 meters. And everyone's like, wow, that's so cool. Eventually, it's all done now. Bakugo's thing is done. But yeah, so a week later, Heroes vs. Villains. So like they're all waiting, hero costumes on. And like the first round, it's Uraraka and Todoroki as the villains. And Bakugo and Ida as the heroes. So while Todoroki and Uraraka are setting up, they start seeing like pretty much a transparent human figure. So kind of what they could only describe as glitching through their room. Like eventually it starts getting more apparent, I guess. Apparent, yeah, that's probably it. They can start seeing like skin, I guess, hair color, clothes color, because I ain't gonna have to be naked, like I can't do that. He's pretty much gonna be wearing what he is in the picture. He pretty much looks exactly like this, except for the blood, I guess, yeah. And then they can start hearing a voice like, I'm back, I'm free, like, I'm free, I'm back. And, they really like, Mr. All Might, there seems to be, a transparent person going through our room. Like, don't worry about it, it's probably just something Ida and Bakugo are doing with some of their hero gear. Like, oh, yeah, okay, yeah, probably. After like a few more minutes, then Izuku finally appears. His arms are kind of dangling, he's looking down. It starts off like, I'm finally back. I finally made it out. I finally did it. Todoroki's like, wait, who are you? He says, oh, that doesn't matter now. You know, Todoroki sends an ice thing at him. It hits Izuku, and he just poofs into smoke. But then the smoke kind of reforms into Endeavor. It's like, Shoto, you must be the perfect weapon to defeat All Might. It starts walking up to him. Sho's like, no, you're not real. He sends an ice spike at Endeavor's head. Then the smoke poofs. It turns into Rei Todoroki. She's holding the kettle. She's scared. Like, you're just like him. You're just like him. How could I love you? Choco's like, no, Mom. Pretty much what Deku can do is he can pretty much see your worst fears. No, it's not a quirk. It's just an ability, really. And he sees. Then eventually Deku stops time. I'm gonna say he does a deal. He has a bunch of knives with him. He throws 2 knives at each of his arms and 2 knives at each of his legs. So time resumes, and pretty much Todoroki's fallen to the ground like, my legs, my arms. Like, he's just screaming out in pain. Rei Todoroki kind of shifts back into Deku. This is like the real Deku. And Rock's like, wait, who are you? He says, what's your biggest fear? Then the smoke kind of starts shifting, It's kind of like, it shows her parents, like, in an alleyway, like, in a boxes, like, and she's like, oh, no, that can't happen. Pretty much her biggest fear is, like, letting down her family, not being able to support them, I guess. But yeah, so Deku stops time again, throws knives at her arms and legs. But yeah, this part kind of sounds like, so far it kind of sounds scripted. This is the 3rd time I'm doing it, and I just kind of want to get this part over with. Like, this, like, up to now over with. But yeah, that's why it might sound scripted or something. But then, like, All Might kind of sees, like, what's happening? He doesn't want to intervene yet. Like, maybe this is something that they're doing. Like, okay, maybe taking it a bit too extreme, maybe. Then eventually Bakugo and Ida burst into the room. And, they see, like, pretty much Deku just sitting, like, this dude standing there with green hair, white suit with a black, well, not white suit, pretty much what Deku's wearing, like, with his back to them. Like, who are you? Like, and he says, like, oh, I'm nobody, just here to see your friend. And he turns around and says, oh, hey, Kachan. And Buck's like, oh, what? Izuku? Says, oh, maybe this will be better. He kind of shifts into the small little Izuku. He says, Kachan, what are you doing? Baku says, no, that's not real. And he pretty much explodes the thing. But then, like, it starts turning into smoke as well. Then, like, the whole room is pretty much, like, in this smoke now. Like, it's pretty much pitch black now. They can't see in front of them. Then, pretty much, like, a light turns on, like, dunk. Like, one of those big, bright lights. Like, it shows Oraka and Todoroki strapped to the chair. Izuku behind him says, what would happen if I were to do this? And he puts a knife to the throat and says, what if I just went, like, cuts Oraka's throat? He's like, no! And he starts rushing up. Kicks Deku. The chairs kind of start, proof as well, like it wasn't real. Then, Deku, like, transforms into the Ida Tenya family. And it's like, you're such a disappointment, Ida. can't believe you call yourself a tenure. You're the worst brother ever. Like, how do you think you could become a hero? You know, Deku comes up behind him and says, listen to them, how could you become a hero? Then Ida kind of snaps out of it, like he was like scared for a second, and realizes this is just him. Then he like does a spinning kick and hits Deku. You know, he kind of proceeds into smoke as well. I know I'm kind of overusing this ability, but I just think this is cool. Like, you know, kind of proceeds into smoke. You know, his laugh can be heard like again, like. You know, and then eventually Deku stops time again and throws knives at their legs and arms. He straps them to a chair. You know, and he knows exactly what this is, like what's going on right now. Like, this is an exam done by the UA Hero School. You know, and eventually, like, the smoke clears and they see, like, Bakugo, Ida, Todoroki, and Hororoka on the ground with knives in their legs. You know, then Deku goes up to a camera and says, come on, hero, come save them, come on. You know, the camera breaks. All the cameras break and All Might's like, damn it, should have gone in earlier. Damn it, damn it, damn it. Now he's rushing in, like, you know, he's going full speed, like, you know, he's making gusts of wind. And he's gone into the building, he's like, what are you doing? He says, oh, I'm just here to visit a friend, right, Bakugo? Bakugo's like, He's in immense pain. You know, All Might goes up to punch him, you know, he turns into Nana Shimura. It's like, Toshinori, what are you doing? Like, why didn't you help me? Why didn't you help me defeat All for One? We could have won. I was like, what? Master? You know, this is actually Izuku just kind of having an illusion of Nana Shimura over him, actually. And, you know, All like, no, it's not real. Like, this is still his biggest fear, but he's accepted it. Like, he knows that he could have saved her, but he's accepted it, I guess. You know, he ends up punching Nana Shimura, which was actually Deku. Deku's like, oh, what? Like, he's passed out, like, he hit the wall, like, oh. And, you know, like, a few hours later, you know, Deku's in, like, a little holding cell they have in UA, just in case. You know, pretty much like where they have, like an interrogation room, like, two-sided glass and stuff. He's strapped down to a chair as well, like, he has Quirk cuffs on, strapped down. You know, he finally wakes up like, oh, that hurt. And he tries to get back up, he's like, I'm trapped. No, I can't, not again, I'm not trapped. And he starts moving around a lot, like trying to move around. And this one, like, Nezu comes and like, please stop, please. You're going to hurt yourself that way. He says, oh, look, it's a little mouse. Oh. Says, yes, I'm a little mouse. Says, Nezuko's like, oh, what am I doing then? Says like, so you attacked our class. Well, one of my classes. Why? Oh, I was visiting a friend. And Nezu says, okay, we've heard you say that many times, but who is your friend? Oh, Bakugo Katsuki. And like, there's like, oh, okay, and then, you know, this is kind of like there's like a few microphones, you know. Nezu says like, okay, can we get Bakugo Katsuki in here? You know, Aizawa and All Might, they're like, yes, okay. Like, can Bakugo Katsuki please come to here? You know, everyone's kind of shooketh, I guess, by what happened, you know, everyone's healed though. And Bakugo Katsuki, like, comes to the two-way class, like, he has one mate, he says, you know, almost like, yes, young Bakugo, do you know that boy there? He says, yeah, I know him. He says, who is he? He says, well, he was my friend. Like, but then something happened to him, and I haven't seen him for 12 years. Like, Oh, then what happened? He says, I don't want to talk about it. Okay. As I said, talks to the microphone. Okay, can you bring him in here? Yeah, yes. Bakugo walks in and says, hey, is it okay? He says, oh, hey, Bakugo, remember me? Remember what you did? There's like, what did you do, Bakugo? He says, nothing. He says, oh, don't you remember? You killed me. It was like, what, you killed him? He's like, yeah, like, but how? You're still here. He's like, oh, and that's thanks to my quirk, teleportation. And the one's like, what? But I thought his quirk was illusions. And he says, yes, when he killed me, I teleported at the same time. I was neither dead nor alive. So I wasn't going to hell, or I wasn't staying on Earth. So now I've got sent to a void. Everything was just black. Nothing. Then I started making friends. I started getting better at stopping time. And now I'm back. And it's like, what? Okay. Like, well, we have looked over the security footage and you seem to be able to create illusions, but you say your quirk is teleportation. And you say you could stop time. What is your quirk? He says, oh, I think you mean quirks. My first quirk is teleportation. Second quirk is time stop. Third one is illusions. I'm like, oh, okay then, but okay, well, since you didn't kill anyone, and nothing really majorly injured happened, so we really have nothing to convict you of. What are you going to do if we have to set you free? Oh, I don't know. I always did want to become a hero. Like, at this point, Bakugo's gone out because it was just too much for him. I guess, he's on the other side of the glass. Like, it's only one way from Izuku's side, but it's like two ways. Like, it's pretty much glass on the other way. And but then, Deku looks at it and, like, it's pretty much looking directly at Bakugo and says, but he said I couldn't. So, I don't know. Maybe I'll just become a villain. Maybe. And Nezu says, oh, so you wanted to become a hero. That can be done. We are at a hero school. Deku's like, oh, really? That would be quite fun, then. So, and Nezu says, but you'll probably have to do a few checkups on you, just in case. Like, oh, I don't see any reason why. I'm perfectly fine. yeah, you're fine, yeah. But yeah, so eventually, like a week passes, and, Deku's psyche has been evaluated, and they see, like, it's beyond repair, really. Like, it can be kind of semi-fixed, but, like, not really. So he's still gonna act a little bit like that, like how I've been making him act. But yeah. So eventually, a week later, Aizawa says, okay, everyone, we're going to be having a new student join us. And everyone's like, oh, wow, really? Wow. And the girl's like, I hope he's hot. I don't know. And then eventually, like, Izuku walks in, like, in handcuffs. Not quirk cancelling, just handcuffs. And everyone, like, gets him going, like, what's he doing here? And Izuku says, oh, I'm going to be a new classmate. Isn't that right, Mr. Aizawa? Yes, you are. Damn it, Nezu, why'd you do this? Ida stands up and says, why is he here? He was a villain, a simple thug. Izuku doesn't like being called a villain. Deku gets mad like, huh? What'd you call me? Huh? Says, I called you a villain, you attacked us. Pretty much what Deku does now is he stops time, runs to the teacher's lounge or something, gets a knife, jabs it into the keys from the handcuffs, throws them out, gets a knife, goes behind Ida, and puts a knife to his neck, resumes time and says, oh really? Am I just a villain, huh? And everyone's like, how do you get there? I was like, shit. And he uses his quirk, throws the scarves at him. Says, Izuku, you can't be doing that. And Izuku starts laughing, he's kind of on the ground, being pulled back, on his back, whee! He says, okay, Izuku, sit back there and don't ever do anything like that again. He says, oh, fine. But yeah, he goes back at the back of the room. Everyone's like, they're kind of unsettled by him a little bit, he's weird. So he's pretty much been in the class for a week. A few people have tried to talk to him, like Kirishima, Kaminari, Sero, I don't know, Shoji, Tokiyami. They kind of get a decent conversation out of him. Whoops. But yeah. So, yeah. Then we think, USJ. So, it's all comes okay, everyone, today we'll be going on a field trip to the USJ. Everyone's like, oh yeah, Universal Studios Japan. Izuku starts saying, no, you idiots, it's unforeseen simulations joint. And so I was like, yes, he is right, but I don't think the idiot's part was necessary. It's like, oh, but I think it, why not? Stay on. Yeah, okay, yeah, sure. Okay, everyone, it doesn't really matter. Just put on your hero costumes and get on the bus. Everyone's like, okay. Because they're disappointed. They wanted to go to Universal Studios Japan. But yeah, pretty much Izuku's hero costume is just going to be what's on the screen. Without the blood. But yeah. So, he's on the bus. No one's really sitting there. He's kind of just kind of thinking to himself what should I eat? What should I try and do to Bakugo? But yeah. So pretty much, everyone's selling their quirks, I have earphone jacks, I can make electricity, I can make tape, all those kind of things. And, then eventually it gets to Izuku, Froppy's the only one who's kind of ballsy enough to talk, and Izuku, what's your quirk? And Izuku's like, oh, I think you mean my quirks. Todoroki kind of perks, huh? He has quirks. He says, my first quirk is called teleportation. I can teleport myself anywhere in my line of sight, or anything in my line of sight. I can also teleport. And it's oh, okay, that kind of makes sense. Also, my second quirk is called time stop. I can stop time and move freely within it. That allows me to get perfect aim with my knives. Kind of holding one in his hand. I was oh, yeah, I guess that's how he did it. And my third one is called illusions. I can create sound and physical illusions that can be seen but not touched. And my last one is not really a quirk, but more of an ability. I can see everyone's worst fears. And, someone says huh, prove it then. He says, I'm saying this is Kaminari or something. He says, oh, okay then. You're afraid that you won't become a good enough hero because your quirk is useless unless there's no one around you. And then what happens if you short-circuit yourself in the middle of an attack? You would die, wouldn't you? Kaminari's oh, yes, yeah. Everyone's oh, yeah, I guess so. yeah, that's a pretty useful ability, I guess. But yeah, then eventually, they get back to the US. They get to the USJ. They're at the they're waiting. You know, um, 13's like saying, okay, yeah, Quirk's being dangerous. Yeah, blah blah blah. Eventually, the portal opens. Kirishima says like, oh wow, fake villains, this will be gonna be so fun. Shoto's like, Shota, right, Mr. Aizawa's like, no, they're not fake. 13, protect the kids. He starts going down there. And, like, he's like trying to, he's beating up a few of them, but then eventually like they overrun him and like they start beating him up. And like, Kirigiri hasn't teleported anyone yet. That's when Deku starts off like, maybe I should help Mr. Aizawa. Maybe it might be fun. And then he starts walking down the stairs. Like Aizawa pretty much can't move, he's been knocked out. Then like one of the villains says, looks like we got another hero. He shoots a bullet at him. So his Quirk was just like those finger guns. And it looks like it's about to hit Deku, but then he stops time. He quickly teleports down to where the dude was with the bullet in his hand. He aims it at the dude's leg. Says, yeah, that should do. Just unfreezes time, and the dude gets shot in the leg. He's like, what the hell? My leg! Like, everyone's like, what? Get him! And they start shooting more bullets at him. And then he stops time again. He grabs all the bullets and he starts going behind the people. He starts aiming the bullets right at their spine. Like, let's say there was like 7 of them. And he unfreezes time and the bullets hit them right in the spine, paralyzing them. He starts laughing maniacally like, I don't really know if that's maniac like. That was funny. The old villain's like, what the hell was wrong with him? And like, and then a few more of the students start attacking the villains, like Bakugo, Todoroki, and Kirishima. Pretty much all the ones that are suited for it attacking. But Mia, so then eventually, like, Azuka's kind of just walking through everyone, like, whoops, gotta get by you, sorry, didn't wanna, he's kind of getting by everyone, Eventually he meets up with Shigaraki, Kirigiri, and the Nomu. Like, Kirigiri's like, damn it, Nomu, kill him. And pretty much, but he created a sound illusion, I guess. Pretty much said, like, Nomu, don't do anything to that kid. And Azuka like walks up to him and says, but he won't do anything, will he? He's like, he's like poking the Nomu, like caressing, like moving it, touching its face, like, see, he's a good boy. And then she walks up and I'm like, what? Nomu, kill him. And Nomu doesn't do anything again. He says, Kirigiri, just get rid of him. Yes, master. He teleports Deku, like, high into the air, so, he'll fall and go splat. People are looking like, wait, okay, yeah, he's fine, he can just teleport. He's getting closer to the ground, he's laughing, like, going, like, wee, yay, wee. And, eventually, he's getting closer and closer and closer and closer. And, the student's like, wait, he's not doing anything. Some of them are running over like, damn it. And then pretty much the Nomu catches him. He pretty much make it sound like that Shigaraki said, Nomu catch the boy. And Kiryu, he's like, oh, good boy. And he starts patting the head. Shigaraki's like, damn it, what are you doing? He says, oh, I'm just telling the Nomu what to do. See? Like, he pretty much makes it, Shigaraki, sound like what the Nomu heard was like, crush your own head. Pretty much crush your own head. It does that. And questions its own head. You know, but yeah. And she goes like, damn it. Gary, get us out of here. Sorry, someone's knocking on my door and I can't answer it. But yeah, that's why I'm being a little bit more quiet. But you know, then eventually, like, that's all over and stuff. Like, a few of them, like, attacking, you know, Deku picks up Aizawa. You know, he's walking up the stairs. You know, I say Bakugo was attacking people. You know, one person comes up behind him and tries to stab him. Like, with, like, some sort of spike quirk. You know. And then, like, Deku, you see it, like, no, damn it, Bakugo. And he throws a knife, like, all the way up the stairs. Like, it was propelled, like, a lot of force. Somehow. You know, it hits the dude right in the spine again, paralyzing him. That's, like, his favorite move to do to villains. You know, Bugs, like, looks behind him, like, huh? And he sees the villain on the ground, like, not being able to move. He's like, oh, damn it, I can't feel my legs. Can't feel my arms. And, you know, like, Bugs, like, what the hell? You know, he sees Izuku, like, kind of in that throwing position, like, kind of, like, blank stare, like, And Bugs, like, what happened to him? He was so nice before. Yeah. You know, like, after all that, like, the villains, like, have all been captured. You know, the police are there, and, like, the police are like, what happened to, like, these people? They've all been paralyzed. You know, Izuku starts off like, yeah, that was me. Like, but why? Like, it was all in self-defense. Okay, then. You know, villain's like, no, do you stop, like, get us away from that guy, he's insane. You know, but yeah. A few weeks later, you know, they've all, like, kind of gotten, like, kind of calmed down from the event and stuff. And, you know, this is when Aizawa was like, okay, everyone, we'll be doing the sports festival today. And that's where I'm going to leave it off. Hope you enjoyed it. If you didn't, cool.